Why calm becomes a trap. Let's name the pattern. You meditate more when life gets messy. You avoid the conversation, play the good vibes only playlist, and call the numbness peace. It feels spiritual. It's actually avoidance. The thing most people miss is that your nervous system has a safe mode. It's cozy, but it stalls adaptation. If you never leave that mode, your brain has no reason to change. Here's why that matters. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire, responds to novelty and manageable stress. Translation: brains learn at the edge, not in the hammock. When everything is predictable, your perception and behavior ossify. Calm becomes a rut. Now here's where most people mess up. They confuse calm with health. True calm is flexible. It can hold grief, agitation, and uncertainty without collapsing. Calm chasing is brittle. It breaks the moment life isn't aligned. If you've ever felt so zen, until a text from your boss detonated your mood, you met brittle calm. Let me back up and make this practical. A client of mine spent years mastering routines. Yoga at 6, affirmations at 7, silence till 8. Impeccable schedule. But their relationships were a minefield. They'd freeze when a partner brought up tension. We added tiny doses of unpredictability. One unplanned hour a day, a weekly honest check-in, and a mild physical challenge. Within weeks, agitation spiked, then something clicked. Because they stayed present with that agitation, their window of tolerance widened. Conversations got easier. Creativity picked up. The routines didn't disappear. They stopped being shields. Why does calm chasing fail? Because it numbs conflict, suppresses the shadow, and blocks the conditions for neuroplastic change. Jung's language helps here. The shadow holds the traits we disown: envy, anger, neediness, superiority. Spiritual positivity can paper over those forces, but it doesn't integrate them. Without friction, there's nothing to metabolize. No raw material, no transformation. Okay, so the tricky part is that safe mode feels good. Your breath is even, your thoughts are tidy, your feed is curated. But you're not training for life's complexity. You're rehearsing control. When approval or control gets threatened, your calm spikes. Notice that. That's the tell. Calm as identity is spiritual perfectionism. You're attached to being the serene one. It's social approval in disguise. The consequence is predictable. You build a temple on stilts. It looks peaceful until a storm hits. Then the whole thing collapses. You relapse into old patterns, overthinking, ghosting, doom scrolling. I'll just meditate it away. And because you've labeled discomfort as failure, every surge becomes proof you're not there yet. That belief locks the cage. Before we continue, you need to understand how the nervous system actually upgrades. Think dose, not dump. Too little challenge and you stagnate. Too much and you shut down. The sweet spot is precise edges. Enough unpredictability to wake the system, not enough to fry it. That's where learning consolidates. Exposure science has shown this for decades. Graded contact reconditions threat into tolerable challenge. The same principle applies spiritually and psychologically. The game changer nobody talks about is timing. When a surge hits, you have a tiny window to either meet it or reroute it. If you reflexively self-soothe before you sense and name the surge, you train escape. If you pendulate, touch the discomfort, then return, you train capacity. This clicked for me when I noticed my own habit of over-breathing the moment anxiety rose. Once I felt first, labeled second, then exhaled longer, my system started reframing the signal. Not danger, just data. Now here's where most people mess up again. They equate chaos with drama. Drama is uncontained overwhelm and self-sabotage. Chaos, as we'll use it, is controlled unpredictability. Complexity without the cliff. You're not seeking pain for pain's sake. You're seeking novelty in manageable doses to reteach your body-mind how to be present when it can't control the script. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this. Calm is not the destination. It's a skill you earn by moving through discomfort in smart increments. Chasing it directly is like chasing sleep. You lose it. Create the conditions, and it arrives. Common signs you're stuck in the calm trap. You avoid hard conversations, but feel spiritually centered. You add more rituals when uncertainty rises, instead of adding capacity. You feel superior to dramatic people while suppressing your own anger. Your peace evaporates fast when plans change. The reason this matters for awakening is simple. Awakening isn't an escape from human messiness. It's deeper contact with reality, shadow and all. Light without dark is denial. Without meeting your own volatility, you outsource it, project it onto partners, politics, low-vibe others. That's not transcendence, that's fragmentation. So what accelerates awakening? Precisely dosed chaos. We'll use a metaphorical CIA playbook to make it trainable. Gather recon on your comm addiction, run controlled exposures, debrief to extract signals, and build redundancy so a single tactic failure doesn't derail you. We'll inoculate against the biggest risk, overwhelm, by baking in safety protocols. And there's a hidden step you'll learn later that turns stress into initiation, not exhaustion. Once you nail this reframing, everything else clicks. You stop fearing surges, your baseline comm gets deeper and more flexible, and your authenticity grows teeth. Now, let's map the better method. Why chaos fuels real awakening? If comm chasing stalls growth, what actually accelerates awakening? Controlled chaos. Not chaos as meltdown, chaos as deliberate, bounded unpredictability that forces your system to reorganize. Think of it like strength training for perception. You add just enough instability that your mind-body must build new stabilizers. The reason this works is simple biology. Novelty plus manageable stress signals your brain to rewire. When the environment changes in small, unexpected ways, and you remain engaged instead of escaping, neuroplasticity turns on, and meaning-making kicks in. The thing most people miss is how precise the dose needs to be. We want edges, not cliffs. Overwhelm fries learning. Boredom sedates it. The sweet spot is that, I can feel it, but I'm still here threshold. That's where new associations form. The sensation of a surge pairs with agency instead of disaster. Over time, your system updates its threat map. Uncertainty becomes a challenge to meet, not a signal to run. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Target complexity, not drama. Drama is messy, reactive, and usually repeats old patterns. Complexity is novel, bounded, and chosen. You're not creating problems. You're widening your range by introducing variables you don't fully control, then staying present. That friction is what Jung pointed to with the shadow. Integration requires contact with what you'd rather not feel. Light without dark is denial, and denial can't transform anything. Why is this so potent for awakening? Because presence gets forged at the edge. When you can hold contradictory signals, fear and curiosity, agitation and kindness, your awareness deepens. You stop needing the world to be tidy to feel grounded. That's real resilience. Flexible calm that adapts under load. And the payoff is tangible. People report more authentic self-expression, fewer avoidance spirals, quicker recovery after shocks, and a quieter fear of the unknown. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. Say you pick a relational edge, speaking one truth kindly that you usually swallow. Before doing it, you feel the telltale surge, tight chest, racing thoughts. Most folks either dump it out or shut it down. Controlled chaos is different. You notice the surge, name it, soften your exhale, and proceed with one sentence, not the whole manifesto. That one rep teaches your body that truth plus sensation equals survivable connection, not catastrophe. Repeat this across contexts, and your baseline recalibrates. Now here's where most people mess up. They confuse intensity with efficacy. More heat doesn't mean more growth. In fact, too much intensity collapses nuance. The nervous system goes binary: fight, flight, or freeze. We want nuance online because nuance is where learning lives. Change 1 or 2 variables at a time. Raise difficulty by 5 to 10%, not 50. Keep the stakes low-medium, so curiosity stays accessible. Another trap is mistaking external chaos for internal training. Quitting your job on impulse, blowing up your relationship, picking fights. That's not practice, that's avoidance in a costume. Controlled chaos uses micro-uncertainties that are reversible, measurable, and debriefable. You can run the rep, reflect, and iterate. That's how capacity compounds. This clicked for me when I noticed I only sought novelty in domains I could dominate. I'd challenge myself with tasks I secretly knew I'd ace. The growth came when I chose edges I couldn't predict. Improvising a conversation, asking for help, leaving an afternoon unstructured. None of that looked impressive. All of it rewired my relationship to not knowing. The reason this works, beneath the psychology, is state-dependent plasticity. When you pair a slightly elevated state with maintained awareness, the brain tags the experience as important and updates models. You're teaching your system that arousal can coexist with choice. That's huge. Without that pairing, surges default to old scripts. With it, they become doorways. Common mistake number 2, skipping integration. Chaos without meaning becomes noise. You did the hard rep, But if you don't extract the signal, what surprised you, what you avoided, what shifted, you lose the gain. We'll build that in later with debrief loops, but flag it now. Exposure earns you the raw material. Integration turns it into skill. If you remember nothing else, remember this checkpoint. Choose the edge you can stay with, name the signal early, and keep the rep small enough that you want to try again tomorrow. That want to try again feeling is the marker you hit the sweet spot. If you dread the next rep, you overreached. If you forget it happened, you underdosed. Micro story. Last month, a student terrified of unplanned time tried a 2-hour, no itinerary block in a familiar neighborhood. First attempt, they doom-scrolled for 30 minutes. We tightened the frame. Airplane mode, one question to follow. What's interesting right now? They came back wired but proud. Third week, they reported a strange ease and a spontaneous chat with a stranger that led to a job lead. The difference wasn't luck, it was practice at the edge. Here's the payoff preview. When you train this way, 3 things shift fast. Your recovery time drops, your sense of agency rises, and your identity loosens. You stop being the calm one and start being the adaptive one. That shift frees you from spiritual perfectionism and opens the door to real shadow work, because now you can meet heat without collapsing. And that's the threshold to the playbook we're about to run. The metaphorical CIA playbook. Maps, not myths. Let's turn this into something you can actually run. We'll use a metaphorical CIA playbook. Not because we're doing secret ops, but because missions have stages, protocols, and feedback loops. You need a map you can repeat, not a mantra you forget. 4 principles anchor this map, and we'll revisit them in every stage, so the metaphor stays your guide, not just a clever label. Principle 1, Reconnaissance. In any operation, you don't rush in, you scout. Same here. Before you change anything, you observe patterns with ruthless curiosity. Where do you chase calm? What triggers the spike? Which rituals you call self-care are actually escape hatches. In stage 1, you'll run recon on your calm addiction, logging triggers, soothing routines, and the exact moments you manufacture fake peace. No judgment, just intel. If you skip this, you'll solve the wrong problem. Principle 2, Controlled Exposure. Once you know the terrain, you make small, deliberate contact with uncertainty to expand capacity. The mistake is blasting yourself with chaos, then calling it growth. Operators dosage test. They probe, adjust, and step again. In stage 2, you'll choose arenas, body, mind, relationships, environment, and introduce 1 or 2 novel variables. Not drama, complexity. Think device-free walks, 1 honest sentence, a slightly colder shower, an unplanned hour. The point isn't intensity, it's precision. Principle 3, Debrief and integrate. After every op, you sit down and extract signals. What surprised you? Where did you avoid? What shifted? Without this, stress is just noise. With it, stress becomes instruction. In stage 3, you'll install short debrief loops. 10 minutes of journaling, 2 minutes of downshifting breath. You're teaching your system to tag experiences as learnable, not threatening. That's how you lock in gains, so tomorrow's edge feels a hair more doable. Principle 4, Redundancy. Missions don't rely on a single route, they build alternates. Your psyche needs the same. If one tactic fails or life spikes, you pivot to a backup, not a spiral. We'll bake redundancy in by rotating arenas, keeping stakes low-medium, and having multiple regulation skills on deck. That way, a hard conversation that goes sideways doesn't cancel the week. It becomes data for the next rep. Quick safety clause so we're clear. This playbook is structured and testable. No esoteric leaps, no power through heroics. If a rep overwhelms you, you downshift, not quit. Sleep, nutrition, and social support are part of the protocol, not an afterthought. You're expanding capacity, not proving toughness. Here's how the principles string together in practice. Recon tells you, I over-meditate when I fear disapproval. Controlled exposure sets a micro-rep. Say one truth kindly in a low-stakes chat. Debrief catches the learning. My chest was tight, but I stayed. The world didn't end. Redundancy keeps momentum, if the chat is too spiky today, you move the rep to an email draft or a voice note to yourself to rehearse the sensation skill pairing. Different route, same objective. The game changer nobody talks about is that a map lowers fear. When you know what comes next, your system can risk novelty because there's a container. You're not entering chaos, you're entering a bounded experiment. That shift from this is danger to this is training is the hinge that unlocks neuroplasticity. Your brain updates when it trusts the frame. Now, you might be thinking, won't a map make this rigid? Actually, the opposite. The map holds the structure, so you can flex inside it. Think jazz, not marching band. The stages give you rhythm, your choices add improvisation. And because we'll keep calling back to these 4 principles in every stage, you'll never lose the thread. If a week gets messy, you ask, did I recon? Did I dose? Did I debrief? Do I have backups? Before we run stage 1, one more anchor. This playbook is a loop, not a line. You'll cycle through Recon Exposure Debrief Redundancy again and again, with meaning-making layered later to multiply gains. Each pass widens your window, deepens your presence, and loosens the identity grip. Once you feel that compounding, you'll stop chasing calm and start building it, under load. Stage 1. Recon on your calm addiction. Let's run the first principle, Reconnaissance. Your only job here is to gather intel. No fixing, no optimizing, no, I'll do better tomorrow. Recon is powerful because change without clarity just shifts the symptoms. You can't upgrade a pattern you can't see. And most calm chasing hides inside routines that look healthy. We're going to expose where peace is really protection. Why this matters? Your brain conserves energy by running habits. If your habit is to dose calm whenever social risk rises, your nervous system learns that authenticity equals danger. Recon shows you the exact moments you reach for control, approval, or numbing so we can target edges precisely. The win isn't perfection, it's visibility. Once mapped, these tells become training sites instead of invisible traps. Here's what you're actually mapping over 7 days. Triggers. Note any cue that spikes your urge to self-soothe. Tone of voice, calendar change, silence after you text, deadlines, ambiguity. Soothing rituals. The behaviors you label calm or self-care that might be escape. Extra meditation rounds, endless journaling, scrolling spiritual quotes, overbreathing, cleaning, micromanaging your diet, staying productive. Avoidance tells. The micro moves that shrink contact, changing topics, smiling while saying nothing, vague language, over-explaining, humor deflection, postponing decisions until I feel centered. And then you'll tag fake peace moments. Fake peace feels flat, frozen, or superior. Real calm is alive and connected. Fake peace is quiet because you muted parts of yourself. A quick litmus test. If your calm collapses when approval, control, or certainty gets threatened, it wasn't calm, it was control. Write that down each time you notice it. How to do the 7-day log, step by step, morning checkpoint. Write 1 sentence answering. Where do I expect discomfort today? This primes reconnaissance. During the day, when you feel a surge or you reach for soothing, jot a 20-second note with 4 tags. Trigger, behavior, body, story. Example, trigger, boss email. Behavior, opened meditation app. Body, tight jaw, narrow vision. Story, don't mess up. Evening debrief. 3 lines max. 1. Where did I pursue calm instead of contact? 2. What did I avoid saying/doing? 3. Did my soothing reduce fear or reduce me? The thing most people miss is the context around approval and control. Watch when your calm spikes as soon as someone frowns, delays, or disagrees. That's your social approval alarm. Note it. Also track control alarms. When plans shift, when you don't know the right answer, when someone else leads. These are prime growth edges later. A couple of rules keep recon clean. Curiosity over purity. If you judge, you'll hide the very data we need. The log isn't a morality scorecard, it's a sensor readout. Specific over symbolic. I felt off tells us nothing. I swallowed a no at 3:20 p.m. when asked to stay late is actionable. Timebox entries. 20 seconds in the moment, 2 minutes at night. If logging becomes another perfection ritual, you'll avoid. Common mistakes I see. Turning the log into biography. Long stories, old memories, justifications. We're staying operational. What happened, what you did, what your body did, what meaning flashed. Another mistake is counting wins and ignoring tells. You don't need evidence that you're enlightened. You need a map of where you exit yourself. Quick win right now. Name your top 2 calm crutches. Pick from this list if it helps. Extra meditation, breath hacks at the first twinge, positive reframing, productivity sprints, scrolling, silence, spiritual. Quotes, fix-it advice, people-pleasing. Say them out loud. Write them at the top of your log. These are the behaviors we'll test against later. Let me give you a sample day so this clicks. Morning. Expect discomfort during 2 p.m. team meeting. 1:57 p.m. trigger. Calendar reminder. Behavior, open Slack to prep. Body, shallow breath, tight stomach. Story, be impressive. 2:40 p.m. trigger, teammate challenges idea. Behavior, smile, say totally, don't clarify. Body, cold hands. Story, don't be difficult. Evening, pursued calm over contact in the challenge moment. Avoided clarifying my concern. Soothing reduced fear by shrinking me. See how that's useful? Tomorrow's edge is obvious. That moment when challenge lands. We're not changing it yet. We're marking the coordinates. One more aha to watch for. Peace spikes when approval or control is threatened. It sounds backward, but you'll notice the calm flood right when you most want to disappear. That's a red flag and a goldmine. Tag those spikes with an asterisk. They're high-yield training sites. If you're worried this will make you self-conscious, good. Brief self-consciousness is the price of self-awareness. It fades fast. What remains is precision. And with precision, we can dose chaos safely later. Final checkpoint for stage 1. By day 7, you should have a handful of repeating patterns. Same triggers, same crutches, same avoidance tells. Circle the top 2 patterns and the top 2 crutches. That's your starting kit for stage 2. Recon complete means I can point to where I leak presence, not I fixed it. When you can point with that level of honesty, controlled exposure becomes obvious and far less scary. Now we've got intel. Next, we use it. Stage 2. Controlled exposure to constructive chaos. CIA tie-in first. This is controlled exposure, small, deliberate contact with uncertainty that expands capacity. Why this matters? Your window of tolerance grows through graded challenges, not through perfect plans. If Recon showed where you leak presence, exposure is where you build it back, one precise edge at a time. The consequence of skipping this is familiar. You keep logging patterns while your life stays the same. The benefit of doing it right is immediate, faster recovery, richer perception, and the felt sense that I can stay with this even when the script tilts. What we're doing? Picking domains and dosing unpredictability. There are 4 arenas to choose from: body, mind, relationships, and environment. Start with 1 or 2. Body gives you clear feedback, cold, heat, tempo, balance. Mind gives you novelty, idea sprints, problem inversion, stochastic reading. Relationships give you truth reps, one kind reveal, one boundary, one repair attempt. Environment gives you context shifts, route randomness, device sabbaths, sensory variety. The point is not to suffer. It's to train presence when you can't control the variables. Now the dose-response ladder, micro to meso. Micro equals daily 1 to 5 minute reps that nudge your system. 20 seconds of colder water at the end of your shower. 1 honest sentence in a low-stakes chat. 3 minutes of free writing without backspace. 1 block walk with your phone on airplane mode. Meso equals 10 to 60 minute reps, 2 to 3 times per week. A device-free nature walk, a simple workout with slower eccentrics, an unplanned hour with only 1 guiding question, a structured repair conversation, using a single statement of impact and a single request. Let me show you exactly how to build a week. Pick 2 of your stage 1 calm crutches. Pair each with a counter-rep. If you over-meditate at the first twinge, your counter-rep might be a 90-second feel-label exhale, stay with it before any soothing. If you people-please in meetings, your counter-rep is 1 clarifying sentence per meeting. I see it differently. May I add 1 line? That's it. Small, consistent, and trackable. Rules that keep this safe and effective. Change 2 variables max per week. More than that, and you're measuring chaos, not capacity. Raise difficulty 5 to 10% after wins. If a cold finish at 20 seconds feels doable, go to 30 seconds, not 2 minutes. Keep stakes low-medium. Speak a truth about logistics, not values, until your system shows quicker recovery. Make reps reversible. You should be able to abort mid-rep without shame. That keeps curiosity online. Examples to steal: body, 3 rounds of 4-second down, 2-second pause, controlled up on a lightweight movement. 30 seconds single leg balance while turning your head left-right. 30-second cold finish. Mind, 5-minute idea sprint. Generate 15 bad solutions to 1 problem. Problem inversion. How could I guarantee this fails? Then reverse. Stochastic reading. Open a non-fiction book to a random page and apply 1 sentence. Relationships. 1 truth kindly rule. State the smallest actionable truth with warmth. Boundary rep. I can do A, not B. Repair start. When X happened, I felt Y. Next time, could we try Z? Environment. Pick a new route home. Eat without a screen. Rearrange your desk. Add one sensory variable. Music you'd never choose, a different light, a new scent. Now here's where most people mess up. They jump to max difficulty because they're impatient, then conclude chaos doesn't work. Or they pick drama, late-night arguments, quitting on impulse, then call the full out a lesson. That's not exposure, that's self-sabotage. We want complexity without the cliff. Another error is stacking reps without integration. You'll feel busy and brave, but the learning won't stick. We fix that in stage 3 with debrief loops. A simple daily structure, morning prime. Pick one micro rep and one backup. Say them out loud. Midday tag. When the urge to soothe shows up, run the 90-second wave first. Feel label, lengthen exhale, widen visual field. Then do the rep. Evening check. One line. Edge found was X. I stayed Y seconds. Recovery felt Z. Quick win you can take today. Adopt the 10% unpredictability rule. Once per day, make one choice you didn't pre-script. Sit in a different seat. Order the second option. Take stairs. Ask one sincere question you wouldn't usually ask. Tiny detours teach your system that novelty is survivable and sometimes better. Let me add a micro-story to anchor this. A designer I worked with could handle tight deadlines, but panicked at open briefs. We built a mind and environment stack, 5-minute ugly first draft sprints and a daily desk shuffle. Reposition one object, change one tab group. Week 1, agitation. Week 2, faster starts. Week 4, she initiated an ambiguous project without spiraling. Not because the work got easier, but because ambiguity plus action became familiar. Remember the growth. Markers you're looking for: shorter time to start after a surge, quicker return to baseline, and a rising sense of, I can meet this. If those move, you're dosing right. If you dread tomorrow's rep, shrink it. If you forget to do it, it's too small, raise it slightly. Exposure earns raw material. Integration locks it in.